Cesar Ferreira, he can bring the best out of anyone. That guy goes out there, pours it all out, win or lose, he goes hard. Um, but one glaring thing that I see on his record is those four knockouts, and three of them have been within the last 2.5 years. Does that stand out the same to you? Do you feel the same way where not only is the chin more susceptible, but I think you mentally think about it as well, thereby slowing down your offense. So I think that's a point of attack for a guy like yourself.
110%. And throwing in the fact this will be my fifth southpaw in the UFC. So all but one of my fights in the UFC have been southpaws, which there's certain tells that I need to, not tells rather, certain situations that I will be doing with in regards to my attack, the foot battle, and just, settling on the right, whether it's my right hand, my right kick, and everything in between. I think exactly to your point, his chin, I'm definitely going to try and check it. That's his, I think, biggest weakness. And even to the point that you said regarding him thinking about it, he's kind of a little different. He's a little bit more reserved. He's moved away from his capoeira, throwing wild style, and he's trying to be a little bit more reserved and going for takedowns a lot more. I think that has to do with, like you said, he's been knocked out 4 times, and I'm going to make it 5.
You brought up the name Santos, and I remember hearing you say this before, that even though you lost that fight is still one of your favorite fights because of the lessons that came out of it. Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. He was on a 5-fight win streak. He was knocking everyone. He went on a 5-fight win streak. He topped off at, I think, 12th best in the world at one point. And that was, in many ways, my first bad day at work. And I know I'm biased, but in many ways, I think it could have come off of more or less maybe a draw, in the sense that I won the first, he won the last, and it could have been a 10-10 or whatever in the second, or a 9-9 or whatever. I can't remember how they technically do it. But with that being said, he threw everything but the kitchen sink at me, and at no point did I waver. I kept on going forward. And that, more importantly, showed myself, because prior to that, I never lost a round. And to know that when shit hits the fan, I at no point waver. And that's something that you can't really know unless it happens. And going on that 12-fight win streak, and then obviously the 2 in the house, so technically 14-fight win streak, with no amateur background in many regards. When shit hit the fan, I kept on going. And although I'm a little biased, like I said, I think that it wasn't a 10-8 round that 2 of the referees gave me. I was able to go back to the drawing board and kind of say, hey, even at the worst point, it was still a very close fight.